Let's go and take a look at southwestern Oklahoma. That's where Phillip Mcgee is right now, and we'll go ahead and get him back on the live line here and also his live stream up as well. But let's go and take a look at that radar down there first of all. And again, you can see exactly where Phillip Mcgee is. You see his live GPS location, that green dot right there. And again, you can see here really over about the last, let's just say 20 minutes or so, we had this little bow echo that again moved through where we could have had some winds 50, 55, maybe even 60 miles per hour. Phillip, are you on the live line with us right now?
Yeah, I'm here, William.
Okay, Phillip, go ahead and bring us up to date. I mean, we see where you are right now, and again, we saw that, again, it looks like, again, over about the last, 15 to 20 minutes, again, you had that bow echo move really right over your location. What would you estimate the winds with that, again, as it moved right directly through your location?
Okay, yeah, we're traveling on I-44. We're coming up on Chickasha here before too long, and that storm, that bow is just to the south of there. And southwest of there, excuse me. And we're going to stage there and let it catch up with us again. But as we were driving across, we hit there by Fort Sill. Those winds were probably, again, upwards of 60 miles an hour, maybe even a touch more than that. So we're actually on I-44 now. The winds have actually started to pick up. I think we're actually getting on the right on the back side of this. We haven't actually made it to that bowing section yet. This thing is moving extremely fast, and we're just having a hard time trying to keep up to it. But we're just about on the leeward edge of it right now. So as soon as we get there, we'll get back with you and let you know exactly what kind of winds we're experiencing, what kind of rain we're looking at. And I will say this: the cloud of ground lightning has picked up again on this storm.
Okay, Phillip Mcgee, really appreciate that. And that's from there down in southwestern Oklahoma. Again, just really now on the eastern sides a lot. And again, we're seeing your stream there. Phillip Mcgee in the official Oklahoma Customs, Oklahoma Weather Tracker chase truck there. Again, even with his night scope technology. Again, even at night, again, you can see how good the resolution is there as well. So from there, let's come on back up here to the Oklahoma City Metro. We're going to get Mark Rodriguez back on the phone here. He's on the western sides of the Oklahoma City Metro. And again, we're going to be checking back in with him coming up here just momentarily. And as we get him back up here on the live line, again, we'll be checking in with him. He's there in Canadian County. So, again, we do want to check back in with Mark. We're going to switch the radars around here as well. And let's see here. Let's just go and pull that back up. Just kind of bear with us here, guys. We've got a lot of different things going on here. But, again, as we pull up the central Oklahoma radar here again, you can see for Oklahoma County specifically, let me go and put this into movie mode. Again, really just a few scattered showers right now in Oklahoma County proper. But as you get out into Canadian County, again, this is where we pick up on some heavier activity. That's where Mark Rodriguez is. We've got his stream. I can see it over there. We're going to talk to him, and we'll take it here live in just a second. But really from Okarche all the way down through El Reno, now all the way down to, and there's Binger right there. Again, that's where Mike and Jesse are, again, with some of that localized street flooding going on, all the way down into parts of really eastern Caddo County now, even locations like Chickasha, again, heads up, again, some fairly heavy thunderstorms moving into your location right now. Again, the main threat with any of this activity really now, it is going to be the cloud of ground lightning, and at least it's going to be the fairly brief heavy rainfall. Again, some localized flooding will be possible, but again, overall these storms are moving fairly quickly, and again, you can see this line of storms basically tracking center line right on into the Oklahoma City Metro. Again, all non-severe, but again, heavy thunderstorms, meaning you will have a lot of cloud of ground lightning, and again, some localized flooding will be possible with some of that activity, as again, it does continue to track right on into the Oklahoma City Metro. Like I mentioned, Mark Rodriguez, he is there in Canadian County. So we're going to be checking back in with him coming up here just momentarily. And you can actually see there's a stream right there. And it almost looks like he's on I-40 out there. But again, we'll be checking in with him and finding out exactly where he is coming up here in just a second. We're going to check back in with Phillip Mcgee down in southwestern Oklahoma now as well. And Phillip, if you can, go ahead and bring us up to date with, again, what you're seeing. I know you're just east of the Lawton area. And as we go and do this, let me go and switch this around. We're going to put your stream up there in the corner, and then we're going to take a look at your live GPS location there on radar. And again, it still looks like you're really in the thick of it down there. And go ahead and bring us up to date with what you're seeing there.
Yeah, absolutely. No sooner than we got off the line there just a second ago, I had told my partner that we're fixing to get in the thick of it again, and that's exactly what happened. We are smack dab in the middle of that base segment that's traveling straight down I-44, and the winds have picked up tremendously since we got into this thing. The rain is picked up. It's a lot heavier than what it was before, making driving conditions pretty bad, and the visibility bad. Again, the cloud-to-ground lightning has picked up too, and it actually sounds like there might be some hail intermixed in this segment that we're driving through right now, William. So can't confirm that 100%, but as soon as we can get over up here where we can see this, I'll pull over and see if I can see any hailstones on the ground, and then I'll get right back with you. Winds are driving bad north and south across I-44 though, as we're kind of traveling, that diagonal up towards the southwest part of Oklahoma City.
Okay, Phillip Mcgee down there in southwestern Oklahoma. Really appreciate that. Again, he's really now just to the east of the lot there. In fact, he's up there on 44. You can see his live GPS location. Really just now almost on the southern sides of Chickasha. He'll be there at least within about the next 10 minutes. And again, he's still really in the thick of it as, again, those heavier thunderstorms moving basically right now in to the Chickasha area. So again, we're going to check that here in just a second. Now, I do want to check in with Mike and Jesse. It looks like we do have you guys back on the live line here. We want to try checking in with you one more time. You guys are in Binger. Are you on the live line with us? Go ahead and tell us what you're seeing and where you are right now. Okay, so for whatever reason, we can't seem to talk to Mike and Jesse. They are in North Caddo County. And again, so we'll check in with Mike and Jesse again just a little bit later on. But again, right now we're going to get back with Mark Rodriguez, who's in really on the western sides of the Oklahoma City Metro. So again, we're going to be checking in with Mark coming up here in just a second. And again, Phillip Mcgee also, who is heading northbound now on 44. And again, you can see he's basically right there in the thick of it with, again, some fairly heavy thunderstorms right there in his location. Again, earlier this evening, Phillip Mcgee had winds over 60 miles per hour on the western sides of Lawton, and then also near the Snyder area as well. And again, also throughout the evening, he's reported some fairly small hail and again, some fairly torrential rainfall from Phillip as well. So Phillip, we're still looking at your live stream. Again, it looks like you're still obviously driving there on 44. Go ahead and tell us what you're seeing now as you're continuing your journey there back to the Oklahoma City Metro.
Yeah, William, we are driving on I-44. Driving conditions have just gotten horrible. Having a hard time staying on the road. Wind is probably 65 miles per hour, definitely on I-44, with embedded probably pea-sized hail for sure. I can't pull over yet to see exactly what it is, but you can definitely hear it hitting on the windshield as we're driving. So know that we're, in fact, in hail, and I'm going to go ahead and call probably pea-sized, maybe even dime-sized now as we're getting a little bit closer to the southwest edge of Chickasha.
Okay, all right, Phillip Mcgee down there in parts of southwestern Oklahoma. Again, you can see Phillip Mcgee right there on I-44. Again, tracking back to the north up here to the Oklahoma City Metro. Okay, I want to do this. Let's go back to the central Oklahoma radar here. And Mark Rodriguez, you're back on the live line here with us. We're going to pull your stream up as well. And tell us where you are. Are you still in Canadian County, or give us an update on exactly where you are right now?
Yeah, William, I am now coming back southbound into El Reno to head back toward I-40 to track us back into the city. We are turning into a lot of localized flooding on the roads along Highway 81, and we had some pretty heavy rainfall there for a while. And I would suggest those of you that are in Oklahoma City, as this moves this way in, this might cause some traffic hazards with the thunder game letting out as well.
It seems like the general trend is, Mark, is that these storms, they're kind of slowing down. Earlier, they were really racing off to the northeast. I mean, they were racing 40, 45, 50 miles per hour. I think the general trend is they're slowing down just a little bit. And again, Mike and Jesse from Binger, we just saw their shot a second ago. There's some localized street flooding going on in Binger. Okay, so we already know that at least there's an opportunity for some locally heavy rain. And I think that's what we're going to see here in Canadian County. It sounds like that's what you're reporting as well, Mark. And again, you can see this overall trend is that the activity is slowing down a little bit. And again, there's some fairly heavy rain falling here from Okarche down through El Reno, all the way down to really, let's just say, the Union City area there across parts of far northern Grady County. Again, an opportunity for some wind gusts, 45, 50 miles per hour is also going to be possible with this as well. And the general trend is, folks, this is moving right on into the Oklahoma City Metro. So Edmond, Oklahoma City, Moore, Norman, all those locations, again, heads up. Again, you are going to have some fairly heavy rain, some lightning, some thunder, again, moving in here over about the next hour or so. But again, the general trend is that these storms have slowed down from really the fast fast movement that they had earlier, where earlier, again, they were racing to the northeast at almost 50 miles per hour. Again, now the general trend is they're moving off to the northeast at maybe 30 to 35 miles per hour. And so again, that does at least increase the opportunity for some localized flooding like we've seen in Binger, and now also that we're seeing there in Canadian County with Mark Rodriguez as well. And again, so we're going to be tracking that very carefully. Phillip Mcgee, he's also cutting up through those. Again, he's basically right there in the Chickasha area on I-40. So again, he's going to be coming right up through these. So he'll be right on the leading edge of these, again, as they're starting to come into the more Norman area here, again, very, very quickly as well. But again, Mark, as far as, the localized flooding that you've seen, I mean, is it primarily just on streets? Is it kind of in the low-lying areas, or what type of localized flooding are you seeing?
I would say, yeah, it's in a lot of low areas. Right now, I'm still on 81, pretty much in the heart of El Reno right now. For the most part, it looks to be toward the edges of the road. I did come into some in the left lanes as well in the middle. It's just kind of hit and miss with the localized ponding going on. But as you were saying, yeah, I'm actually at the intersection of Russell Street, and I do see a lot of water at this intersection here as a vehicle just drove pretty much right in front of me in it. Probably about maybe a half inch to an inch thick at this time.
All right, absolutely, Mark. Really appreciate that. We're going to check back in with Mark coming up here again in just a second. Let's go and switch the radar back over here. Phillip, we're going to get right back to you here momentarily as well. I just want to zoom this out here just real quick, just for our friends even down around the Chickasha area, just so, again, you can see, even down here in Grady County, again, you can see, let's just say from Kingfisher County all the way through Canadian County for sure, all the way back down into Grady County. Again, you can see this line of fairly heavy thunderstorms. Again, we're even starting to see that bow segment again right there in Grady County. Whenever you see a bow on radar, you always have to think high winds. And with this activity right here, it's nothing out of control, but winds 50 to 50 miles per hour are definitely going to be possible. And again, that's basically crossing I-44 right now. Phillip Mcgee just on the southern sides of that, again, tracking to the north. He'll be in front of that here momentarily. But again, for the southern sides of the metro, Moore, Norman, even down through Purcell, again, heads up. This activity is basically coming right on in to the southern sides of the metro. And then some heavier but a little less intense activity there in Canadian County, again, moving into really parts of Oklahoma County. But the opportunity, again, like we've seen, like Phillip Mcgee has seen, really Mark Rodriguez, and even Mike and Jesse out there in Binger, again, with their live shot they had just a few minutes ago, the opportunity for some locally heavy rain will definitely be there, again, over the next several hours as this does move right on into the metro. Also, clouded ground lightning. That is also going to be really the biggest risk with this activity. These storms still very, very electrically active, again, as they're starting to head on into the Oklahoma City metro. So, Phillip, you're still on the live line with us. I know you're basically in Grady County there. You're starting to get now on the other side of Chickasha. I see your live GPS location. Let me go back to your live stream. Kind of tell us where you are exactly, and again, tell us what you're seeing, again, as you're tracking northbound there on 44.
Okay, William. Yeah, we're at the Rush Springs and Marlow exit here on I-44, and we're headed back northeast towards the southwest part of the metro. And just as we were driving, probably 5 miles to the west or southwest there of the toll booth, we got into some pretty serious winds. I won't say that they're 60 miles an hour, but there's probably just 45 to 50. Heavy driving rain. And believe it or not, it was the first hail of the night that we've been in. And actually, we got up probably close to dime-sized hail on a couple of those stones. So, people were pulling over underneath the overpasses and stuff to try and kind of protect their vehicles and stuff like that. I really don't recommend that whenever you're driving on these busy interstates like this and the turnpikes. But we're going to have to pull over here for just a second, though. We're running low on fuel, and so we're going to get right back with you, though.
Okay, Phillip, so we're going to check back in with him in just a second. And again, you can see his live GPS location there in Grady County. He's right there on 44. He's probably going to get some gas right there in Chickasha, and then he's going to continue northbound up here into the metro. Again, here's that line of storms. And again, you can see, the storms in Canadian County, yes, they're heavy. They're going to move on into Oklahoma County. And again, we are going to have some fairly heavy rain, some clouded ground lightning. But this little bow line, folks, again, this isn't severe, but again, these are extremely heavy. You're seeing the dark red and the purples associated with that. Again, that's exactly where Phillip Mcgee is. That that is going to track right on into the southern sides of the metro, from South Oklahoma City to Moore, to Norman, to Purcell, Lexington, all those locations there. Again, heads up, even Washington there in McLean County. Again, that line, you see that little bow right there. And again, that's going to be some winds, potentially 50, 55, maybe even up to 60 miles per hour, even though, again, these storms aren't severe. Again, they are still quite heavy. And even the opportunity for maybe some small shot-size hail could be possible in some of those cells there as well. As we take a look at moving mode, again, you can see those storms continuing to track up into the southern sides of the metro. Now, Mark Rodriguez, he's still in Canadian County, and again, he's still been reporting some fairly heavy rain ongoing up there, and even a little bit of localized street flooding. We're going to take his stream again here in a second, but Mark Rodriguez, he's right up in here. Mark, are you still on the live line with us?
Yeah, I am. I'm actually right here off Ash and Highway 81, and there is a lot of flooding going across 81 here. Maybe you can get it on that car that's passing me on my live stream, or maybe not, but it's kind of hard to see in this area with the lighting. There is a lot of major flooding going on 81. I would suggest if you are in this area of El Reno, just be advised right here on 81, right at the intersection of Ash, probably about a 4-block radius on 81. There's a lot of water coming across 81 here.
Absolutely. We got your stream there, and it looks like your stream may have froze there just momentarily, Mark. But again, we're definitely copying what you're saying there. And again, there's been some fairly heavy rain. There's no doubt about it ongoing out there across parts of Canadian County. Like I mentioned, it looks like the overall speed of these storms has kind of slowed down. And again, that's why we are definitely starting to see some of that ponding going on out there in Canadian County. We're going to take a look at some live rainfall amounts coming up here in just a second. And then, of course, we are still tracking this line down here. It's still fairly heavy. And again, coming right up into the southern sides of the Oklahoma City metro. That's where Phillip Mcgee is. He's just getting gas in Chickasha right now. We're going to check his live stream again coming up here momentarily as well. But Mark, up in your location where you are now there in Canadian County, again, overall, it looked like earlier in the evening, especially near the Okarche, north of the El Reno area, it looked like we could have had maybe some straight line winds going on there earlier. But overall now it's just kind of concealed into more of just a shield of fairly heavy rain up across Canadian County. I mean, are you getting any kind of winds at all with that activity, or is it all basically just lightning and heavy rain where you are?
Yeah, William, we are getting some off and on lightning. The majority of it right now, we do got some heavy rain, and I would say the gusts are still around 40 to 50 miles an hour, making it very difficult to see as you're driving in this stuff. I'm coming on towards the south side of El Reno a little bit, approximately about 2 miles just north of I-40 now, and it's getting a little bit better with the ponding so far, but other than that, it's just really heavy rainfall and some pretty hefty wind gusts.
All right, Mark, really appreciate that update there from Canadian County. We're going to check back in with you coming up here in just a second. And then also Phillip Mcgee, again, he's still getting gas down there in Grady County. We're going to get back to his live stream coming up here momentarily as well. And again, he's basically right there in the thick of it. Again, the heaviest thunderstorms currently in the state, they're basically right there in Grady County. Again, we're seeing that dark red and really the purple there on radar. Again, that's where we are seeing the heaviest rain, the most intense cloud of ground lightning, and even the opportunity, at least, for some small shot size hail. And again, this is the area that we're talking about right here. And again, even where you're seeing that bowing right there, this is what we call a bow line segment. Again, we may see some wind gusts 50 to 55 miles per hour, probably quite likely, to be honest with you, right there in Canadian County, or right there in Grady County rather, right over the town of Chickasha. And again, that is tracking right on in to the southern sides of the Oklahoma City metro. So we're definitely keeping our eyes on that right there. I want to go back over to Mike and Jesse's stream. We're not able to get their audio for whatever reason. We've been having trouble getting their audio tonight, but again, they actually, I was going to switch over to it, but it looks like their stream has changed. I believe they were in Hinton is what he had just texted me, and it looked like he had some more localized street flooding, but I think they're out of there now. So we're gonna skip their stream for now. Let's go back to the overview here real quick. I want to do that real quick here. And just because we need to talk about all of Oklahoma. North central Oklahoma, again, we're seeing that yellow and red up there. Again, this is just some fairly heavy rain. And again, we really kind of have a large shield of some at least moderate to heavy rain ongoing across that part of the state. And then again, as you get a little bit further to the south, again, obviously with the radar presentation there, again, you can see we have some fairly heavy thunderstorms now in Grady County. They're just below severe limits. I mean, these are like razor close to being severe, but right now these are just below severe limits. And I mean, we may have some wind gusts approaching the 60-mile-per-hour range, which would make these storms severe there in Grady County. We're going to be talking with Phillip Mcgee in just a second. Again, he's getting gas in Chickasha, and again, we'll get an update on wind speeds, live wind speeds from him coming up in a minute. But again, you can see these storms, they're bowing out, and again, the opportunity for some gusty winds there, very heavy rain, and again, very frequent lightning, as again, those are tracking right on into the southern sides of the metro, and then scattered showers there across parts of western Oklahoma. Now, the one trend that we've noticed here, folks, over about the last hour or so is these storms have slowed down. Earlier this evening, they were racing. I mean, some of these storms are almost moving 60 miles an hour to the northeast, but this whole line has now really slowed down. And really what it has to do with this area of low pressure that is basically causing all of this this weather. Basically, the area of low pressure is right down in here. You can see everything basically wrapping around it. If you kind of look at the overall trend there, you can see kind of some rotation there, a general rotation around that area of low pressure. The low is slowed down, and since it's slowed down a little bit, this whole shield of thunderstorm activity is also slowed down a little bit. So the bottom line is some of this heavier rain moving into the Oklahoma City metro, we may see some localized street flooding. That's already what Mark Rodriguez has reported. That's also what Mike and Jesse have reported this evening as well. And Phillip Mcgee's also seen some of that down around the Lawton area. So the opportunity, again, we're not talking about flash flooding or any major flooding, but localized street flooding is going to be possible as this line moves into the Oklahoma City metro. And I tell you what, so if you're out and about this evening, I mean, definitely you probably want to go ahead and head on home if you can right now. But if for any reason you are caught out in this and for whatever reason you're having to drive through this, again, keep in mind if you do see any kind of water covering the roadways, you don't want to drive through it. So, I mean, that's really the bottom line. And again, as this activity moves right on in, especially down in Norman, we all know Norman definitely is flood prone, especially right there at Mcgee and Lindsay. Of course, if you're from the Norman area, you know there's several locations in Norman that tend to flood easily, and so that could be one of those locations, as again, there's some fairly heavy rain now moving right on into the southern sides of the metro there. So Phillip Mcgee, again, he's still getting gas. We're going to check back in with him coming up here in just a second. I want to check back in with Mark Rodriguez, who again is in the western sides of the Oklahoma City metro. Mark, are you still on the live line with us?
Yeah, I'm here, William.
Okay, go ahead and tell us what you're seeing right now. Again, Mark, he's still up in Canadian County, or at least let us know where you are. I believe you're still up here in Canadian
Yeah,
County.
William, to give you an update on what I'm seeing right now, we just had some pea-sized hailfall just momentarily. It was very brief. I'm on I-40 now, heading back eastbound, about 11 miles just west of Yukon. And I know it's very hard to see my stream right now, but to tell you what I'm seeing with my eyes right now, I'm going literally 40, 45 miles an hour down I-40 right now. People got their hazard lights on, too. I do see people actually pulled over on the westbound lanes of I-40 here near mile marker 127, about 2 miles just west of the way station here. And it's really hard to see the lanes on the road, and plus the road itself. So I would just advise everybody to take it easy if you do have to travel in this. And as you just said, you know, it's better safe just to stay home.
Absolutely, Mark. Really appreciate that. And I mean, that's kind of been the general trend, is again really what Mark is saying, is again the opportunity for these storms to kind of slow down a little bit, and again some heavier rain as well. And again, that, like he mentioned, again the opportunity for some localized street flooding definitely there. So the southern sides of the Oklahoma City metro down around the more Norman area. Let me zoom this in a little bit because this activity is really coming into the western sides of the metro now. So southern metro there, western metro there. We're going to zoom this in just a little bit. Phillip Mcgee, he's departing Chickasha now, so we're going to check back in with him for a live stream in a second. We're going to get back with Mark Rodriguez there in the western sides of the metro as well. But let's go and zoom this in here real quick. And as we do that, especially for our friends down here, first of all, we're going to take a look at the heavier activity down here around the more Norman Noble area. And as we zoom the radar right on in, again, you can see really right now from the Tuttle, Amber, even back over through the Blanchard area, that's where the heaviest activity is there now. Again, a lot of frequent cloud to ground lightning. All those little white marks you're seeing, that's all cloud to ground lightning. This activity tracking right on in to parts of Cleveland County. Moore, Norman, Noble, Purcell, Lexington, all those locations, even Washington down there and parts of McLean County. Again, heads up. Again, you're definitely going to hear these storms. You're hearing them right now. There's thunder as, again, these storms are moving in. They're not severe, but again, they are packing a punch, meaning you are going to have frequent cloud to ground lightning. You are going to have very heavy rain. And again, you are going to have at least an opportunity for some winds 50 to 55 miles per hour at least, again, as these storms move basically right on in here to the southern sides of the metro. Let's go and take a look up across parts of Canadian and Oklahoma County here as well. I'm going to pull the radar just a little bit further up to the north. And again, that's where Mark Rodriguez is. We'll check in with him here in a second. We're also going to check back in with Phillip Mcgee here momentarily as well. And again, Phillip Mcgee just got gas, and he's and Phillip Mcgee may even be back on the live line with us. Phillip, are you on the live line with us? Okay, so we're going to check back in with Phillip here in a second. But for the western sides of the Oklahoma City Metro, from Piedmont, Northwest Highway right there, now really on the eastern sides of El Reno, back over through Yukon, Mustang. Again, all some fairly heavy rain, a lot of frequent cloud and ground lightning going on there. Again, obviously all this activity moving right on in to Oklahoma County. From Oklahoma City, Edmond, even back over through, again, Arcadia and Luther. You folks already had a heavy thunderstorm earlier. Again, this is moving right back on in to parts of Oklahoma County. And again, like Mark Rodriguez has been saying, like Phillip Mcgee has been saying, and then also like Mike and Jesse showed us a video of earlier, again, the opportunity for localized street flooding will definitely be there. So again, if for any reason you're out this evening, of course, now would definitely be the time to head home. You don't want to be caught out in these thunderstorms. But if for any reason you are, I know obviously it happens, you have a life, you have things going on. But if you are caught out in these storms, definitely don't drive into water, because again, there will be an opportunity in Oklahoma County and Cleveland County, Canadian County as well, like Mark Rodriguez has already been reporting, again, for some localized street flooding. So again, that's something you don't want to be caught out in for sure. Now, Phillip Mcgee, he is streaming again. I have his live stream. He's on the move, and in fact, it looks like he's going fairly quickly up 44 now. He's trying to get back in front of these storms now in Grady County and back into McLean and Cleveland County. Hey, Phillip, are you back on the live line here with us? I see your stream's moving again. Okay, so we're going to check back in with Phillip.
I'm here, buddy. I'm here.
Okay, it looks like Phillip's back on the live line there with us. So, Phillip, I'm going to switch back over to your stream. Go ahead and tell us real quick here, first of all, where you are. And it looks like your GPS is back on. So it looks like it's updating. It looks like you're moving up 44. Again, we can see the little green dot there. There's his live GPS location. So he's down here in Chickasha. He had to get gas in Chickasha, but now he's shooting quickly back up to the northeast, up 44 there. And again, he's going to be intercepting these storms again as they're coming right on into the southern sides of the metro. But Phillip, go ahead and give us an update as to what you're seeing. We're going to take your live stream, and then Mark Rodriguez, we're going to get back to you here in just a second as well.
Yeah, William, we're on the backside of these storms now. Actually, I mean, it's presenting a pretty photographic or photogenic shot for the stream that we've got going on. For the most part, the heavy rain and everything else has subsided here on I-44, but that's just to show you how fast these things are moving. You know, we didn't pull over that long just to get gas, and they're already several miles in front of us. So we're tracking back on I-44 back towards the southwest part of Oklahoma City to catch back up to these storms and bring it live. This is Phillip Mcgee, Oklahoma Weather Tracker 1 chase vehicle. Back to you, William.
All right, Phillip, really appreciate that. That's kind of a tongue twister there, but it is the Oklahoma Customs official chase truck that Phillip Mcgee's in, and that's great things that we're doing there. So again, we're going to check back in with Phillip Mcgee in a second. You see his live stream there, so we're going to switch back over to radar here. You see his GPS location. Let me switch to a different radar, then we're going to check back in with Mark Rodriguez. And Mark, are you still on the live line there with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, William.
All right. Both Mark and Phillip both doing an amazing job tonight, and we really appreciate Mike and Jesse as well. We have their stream, which looked great. We just could not get their audio for whatever reason. But again, Mike and Jesse, if you're watching, we really appreciate what you were trying to do earlier. But again, we just couldn't get your audio for whatever reason. But as we switch back over to Mark Rodriguez, and again, he's in. Are you still in Canadian County, Mark, or tell us where you are again?
I do believe we're about to cross into Oklahoma County here pretty soon. We're about a half a mile from Cimarron Road on I-40 eastbound. Just to give you a report of what I'm seeing, we have seen a lot of vehicles that are parking under the overpasses around here just to be out of the rain. Almost everybody I see has hazard lights on, going about 30 to 40 miles an hour down I-40 in this heavy rainfall. I actually, about a couple miles back, just in the middle lane of I-40, actually had a lot of localized ponding going right across the middle of I-40. So if you're traveling I-40, do take it easy. And also appreciate the comment on not doing a good job. You're also doing a great job out there, William. Back to you.
Okay, Mark, really appreciate it. Looks like we've got your stream back up going there as well. I'm going to zoom the radar in. I want to zoom the radar in really for the southern sides of the metro, especially down here in Norman, because there's some fairly heavy rain now on the southern sides of the metro. So And again, folks, if you're in the southern sides of the metro, you're definitely hearing this. And as I kind of zoom the radar in, this is for Cleveland County specifically. We're going to get back up in Oklahoma County here in just a second as well. But again, from Grady County back over to McLean County into Cleveland County now. In fact, I'm going to stop the movie mode here. I'm going to put this I'm going to freeze the frame here. And so this is live now. And again, you can see from really the Moore area, West Moore, all the way down through Norman. This is I-35 right here, Canadian River right there. This would be Highway 9 in Norman, Highway 9 going either way. Let's see, the casino would be right there. And so here's Noble. So right now, not much going on in Noble, but for Norman specifically, OU would basically be, so there's Highway 9. That would be Main Street right there, Alameda and Norman. So OU would basically be right there. So from Norman, the OU campus, all the way up through really the southern sides and west sides of Moore there, West Moore. Again, some fairly heavy rain going. Again, frequent cloud ground lightning. That's going to be the biggest threat with this activity here. But all the way back over through Blanchard, also up through Mustang. Again, all heavy rain, thunderstorms going there. Again, the opportunity, especially in Norman, for some localized street flooding quite possible as well, just like Mark has been reporting, Phillip Mcgee has been reporting throughout the evening, and other locations around the state. And then as we pull the radar just a little bit further up here to the north, right into Oklahoma County and the eastern sides of Canadian County, again, that's where Mark Rodriguez is. We're going to check back in with Phillip Mcgee. He's live as well. He's down there in Grady County. He just got gas, but again, we'll check back in with him. But now on the western sides of Edmond, this is heavy, but not as intense, to be honest with you. There's still some lightning, so anytime there's cloud ground lightning, that's a dangerous storm. So that's the bottom line. Lightning is a killer, and that's really the bottom line. So frequent cloud ground lightning still there. You're still seeing all those little white bolts. But again, from Piedmont, even back down through really, let's say, the Yukon Mustang area there, again, still some fairly heavy rain. That's all moving into the southwestern sides of the metro. Bethany, again, heads up, even right there, Northwest Highway, right there. Again, some at least moderately heavy rain moving in there. And then again, the activity really picks up from Mustang back over through Moore, again, to the south. And again, that's what we were just looking at there in the Norman and Moore area. And Phillip Mcgee, so you're still heading, I see your stream, and it looks like you're still heading northbound or northeastbound there on 44. Tell us kind of where you are right now. And let me go and take your stream back over here. I know you're on the backside of those storms. You had to get some quick gas. But as we switch back over to your stream, kind of tell us what you're seeing now as you're coming up in the south sides of the Oklahoma City metro.
Yeah, we're definitely getting closer to that, to the storms again. The cloud to ground lightning has picked up a lot. See a lot of scud clouds on the backside as that storm moved through. So the rain, basically, I mean, other than just light misting on the highways and stuff like that, we're really not into any rain or any other heavy winds or anything like that right now, William. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it back to you.
Okay, Phillip Mcgee there, really appreciate that report there. As again, he's on 44, again, coming up on the southern sides of the Oklahoma City metro. He's on the backside of those storms, but again, he's quickly in intercept mode there, and he'll be back really right in the mix here in no time. Let's do this. Let me go and zoom this radar out here just a little bit. We're going to check back in with Mark Rodriguez. And Mark, it looks like your stream may have froze just a little bit there, but I think we still have you on the live line. And go ahead and kind of tell us what you're seeing and kind of where you are right now as well. And if you can, just double check your stream. If it's playing, I'll go ahead and take it here live as well.
Yeah, William, I'm having a little bit of difficulty with the stream at the moment. I'll get that back up shortly. We are off of I-40 and Garth Brooks at this time. We just passed Garth Brooks. The rainfall lightened up just a little bit, but not for long. We are getting some pretty hefty wind gusts, not only from behind us, but they're coming out of the south, actually, probably about 40 to 50 miles an hour at least. We're about to approach Check Hall Road. It's a little bit more visibility in the rain now, but not by much. It's still a little difficult to see with this heavy rainfall. Other than that, that's about all I have for right now. So back to you, Lee.
All right, Mark, really appreciate that. We've got Phillip Mcgee's stream up here in the corner, so we're watching his stream right there live. Mark's going to get his stream going again, hopefully here in just a second as well. Again, here's the overall presentation of what we're watching. Again, the western sides of the Oklahoma City metro, heavy rain there with some embedded thunder, some cloud of ground lightning. Again, all those little white marks you're seeing. Less intense there across really the western sides of Edmond, down into the far western sides of the Oklahoma City metro, like Northwest Expressway. But again, the further south you get from locations like Mustang, back down through really southwestern Oklahoma City, more Norman, now even just to the west of Purcell. Again, that's a fairly intense line of some fairly heavy rain, maybe a little bit of small hail, like shot-size hail, mixed in there with some of that dark red, some of that purple, and again, some fairly frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. And I know we probably sound like a broken record because I've said it over and over, Phillip Mcgee, Mark Rodriguez, everyone has said it, but really the biggest risk we're seeing right now, it is the cloud-to-ground lightning. And it's really intense tonight, folks. For a 2-minute period, this is a 2-minute snapshot, but again, this is how many cloud-to-ground lightning strikes we've had over the last 2 minutes. So again, these storms are very electrically active. You just saw one right there in Phillip Mcgee's live stream as well. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye. But again, this activity continues to track now into the southern sides of the metro and also into Oklahoma County there proper as well. Phillip, we've still got your live stream there in the corner of the radar, and I know you're still tracking northeast there on 44. We see your live stream. It looks like you're almost back in the action. Again, there's where Phillip Mcgee is right there. So you're almost right back into the action. He's going to be coming in really right there on the southwestern sides of the metro here within about the next 10 minutes, intercepting those storms. But from your angle where you are, again, I know we're still seeing that cloud-to-ground lightning there. We just saw some in your stream. But again, what are you seeing now as you're getting a little bit closer to those storms again?
Yeah, I've noticed within just the last couple of minutes that the cloud-ground lightning has picked up a lot, in these main bodies of the storms that are moving, like you said, right there towards the southern part of the city. And you're right, we're gaining on it real fast, and we are going to be back up here in the thick of it here in just a few minutes. We're starting to get back into the precipitation now, as we were, out of it just a little bit ago whenever we stopped to get gas. But we're going to get back in there and bring this live to the folks. Winds have picked up a little bit just on the back side of these. That's what happened to us just a little bit ago as we were driving in. We had made the comment that we thought we were going to be in it, and then just as soon as you had gone over to Mark, we definitely got into the thick of things. And so that's exactly what's going to happen again here in just a few minutes. So you'll see that all live here on our stream here in just a minute.
Yeah, absolutely, Phillip. No, I mean, there's no doubt about it. We see it right there. And there's some more lightning in your stream right there you just saw as well. So Mark Rodriguez, you're still up there in Canadian County. You're kind of a little bit on the backside of this activity now as well. Let's go and switch to a different radar. And Mark, go ahead and bring us up to date with kind of what you're seeing from your location there on really in the Canadian County, Oklahoma County area now.
Yeah, William, we're actually back into the western parts of Oklahoma County now by Mustang Road in the Turnpike area off of I-40. Still working on getting the live feed back up. I'm going to pull off over here off of Morgan Road to work on that for you here in just a second. Right now, the rainfall is still coming down about the same. It's more moderate now than it was heavy. I think I got just on the eastern parts of the heavy stuff. But I'll be tracking that back toward the metro here just shortly. Back to you.
Yeah, really appreciate that, Mark. And like Mark said, I mean, really the area that he's in right now, that area right there in Oklahoma County, the intensities have come down just a little bit. Again, really the most intense activity is now down in the Cleveland County area. Let me go and zoom this radar out here just a little bit. And as we do that, again, you can see that, again, we're seeing some yellow, a little bit of red, but again, no dark red here. So that's good. Again, this is just some general heavy rain that, again, is moving into western Oklahoma County. A little bit of embedded lightning there as well. Of course, that part's still dangerous. But again, really from the Oklahoma-Cleveland County line south, again, that's where the activity picks up in intensity just a little bit. Again, that's where Phillip Mcgee is coming up on that there as well. But again, from Norman, especially back up through the Moore area as well, very heavy rain, localized flooding possible there. Lots of embedded cloud ground lightning, all those little white marks. Again, this is a dangerous storm. Even though it's not severe, it doesn't have to be severe to be dangerous. That lightning is really what's making it dangerous. And then also that opportunity for some localized flooding, especially Norman and also up through the Moore areas. These storms are moving not super slow, but they have definitely slowed down. They're only moving about 30 miles per hour now through parts of Cleveland County. Let's go back to the overview again here real quick, and we're going to check back in with Phillip Mcgee here momentarily as well. But let's go back to the overview real quick here just so we can take the state as a whole. And again, the one thing to reiterate, there's no severe weather anywhere in Oklahoma as we're going on this 10:30 p.m. hour now here across Oklahoma. Of course, this is live Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. William Cole here with you. Again, we've been tracking severe to mainly heavy thunderstorms across Oklahoma this evening. Our storm trackers, Phillip Mcgee, Mark Rodriguez, and also Mike and Jesse have been out this evening, and we've been talking with them and using their streams live throughout the evening. And really great job to our trackers out there this evening as we've really tracked storms from southwestern Oklahoma all the way now here into parts of central Oklahoma as well. So really appreciate the great job that they've done tonight for sure, no doubt about it. And again, you can see across parts of north central Oklahoma, more moderately heavy rain ongoing there. And then again, the further south you get, we start picking up on some embedded thunder from really Logan County, again right here in parts of Oklahoma County, and then across parts of Cleveland, McLean County. Again, that little area right there in Cleveland, McLean County, again, that's where the strongest activity is right now. And then that also does stretch down into parts of Grady County there as well. Let's go back to a different radar here real quick. And let me also point this out. Let me point out one other thing here real quick too, is if you look up here in the parts of Kansas, I know this is kind of hard to see because the logo's there, but Kansas and across parts of Colorado, the white you're seeing there, that's snow. And this area of low pressure, this snow here, it is going to wrap around into parts of the Oklahoma Panhandle later tonight. So again, there's still a traveler's advisory in effect out there in Cimarron County, but Cimarron, Texas, Beaver County, really anywhere in the Oklahoma Panhandle, again, you folks will see some light snow showers again heading into the overnight period as again the snow starts to wrap around into the Oklahoma Panhandle. So we haven't forgot about you guys as well. There's no snow out there right now, but for our friends out there in the Oklahoma Panhandle, we are tracking that for you. And also up there across parts of northwestern Oklahoma, we're seeing more cold rain showers really across that part of the state. So let's go ahead and switch the radar around, and we're going to check back in with Phillip Mcgee coming up here momentarily as well. Then we'll get Mark's live shot back up here. Again, he's starting his live stream back up, he said. Phillip, are you still on the live line with us?
Yeah, I'm here, William.
Okay, so go ahead and tell us where you are. I know, again, Phillip Mcgee, he had to get gas down in the Chickasha area about 15 minutes ago, so it kind of slowed him down just a little bit. But again, with his live GPS location, we can see he was on 44. Looks like he got off of 44. He might even be on 9 there, Phillip. Are you on Highway 9? Or are you on that spur?
No, we're still on,
did you get off the?
We're still on I-44. We just paid out at the last toll booth, or went through the Pike Pass there. And we're just on the outskirts of Oklahoma City right now.
Okay.
Exit was Tuttle, Mustang, and the Yukon.
Okay, so we've got your GPS location there. So go ahead and tell us what you're seeing. We also have your live stream. We'll take that full as well. But again, you're basically coming right back into the activity. Again, this is really the heaviest activity currently in the state right now. Again, we're seeing that dark red, even a little bit of pink showing up there, a little bit of hot pink that Phillip's driving into now. But again, a lot of clouded ground lightning there as well. But Phillip, go ahead and give us an update. Tell us what you're kind of seeing now as you're driving back into these storms now from the back end.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, this is kind of a good advantage point for one reason, because there's a lot of clear air back behind after these storms have gone through, so it gives us a kind of a good opportunity to see what's going on in front of us. And you know, we've been watching a lot of the cloud-to-ground lightning as well as the folks seeing that live on our stream. But I mean, you can see a lot of the scary-looking clouds that you know are closer to where these storms are. And literally, they're only a couple of miles in front of us, but they're still moving along at a pretty good clip. We haven't quite made it right back up to the thick of things, but we're working our way right now. Of course, anytime you got to stop at the turnpike, you got to you know, kind of slow down for traffic and everything else. So, but we're gaining on it just as fast as we can. We're coming into the south sides of the metro right now, so we should be there in just a few seconds.
Okay, Phillip Mcgee, yeah, really appreciate that right there. And so he's, like he said, just basically getting right back into the thick of it now. And so from there, let's go back over to Oklahoma County again. Mark Rodriguez, he's up there in Oklahoma on the western sides of Oklahoma County. He's basically at Mustang Road, I believe is what he said. And Mark, are you still on the live line with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, William.
Hey, Mark, go ahead and tell us again, kind of give us an update as to where you are right now, and again, basically what you're seeing as you're starting to kind of get back into the thick of it as well.
Yeah, William, I'm actually here at the Love Station here on Morgan Road and I-40. Rain's still pretty moderate at this time. I'm pretty sure that heavy rainfall is going to catch back up to us, though. Still working on getting that live stream up for you. That's why I pulled off for a little bit. But other than that, there's really no changes. Back to you, William.
Okay, Mark, really appreciate that there. So Mark, just kind of on the back end of it there, he's trying to get his live stream back up, so we really appreciate him doing that right there. So again, the bottom line is there's really no severe weather in Oklahoma, and that's the good thing. We did have one severe thunderstorm warning earlier this evening, and it did encompass a couple counties down across parts of southwestern Oklahoma. Phillip Mcgee, he was down there live for it the whole time. He had some 60-plus mile-per-hour winds as the storm basically moved right through the Snyder area there in far southern Kiowa County where he was. His truck was actually rocking back and forth just a little bit live. We had it on here live as that happened. But other than that, really, we haven't had any severe weather. So that's good that we've only had some of these heavier thunderstorms. Again, if we do have to have thunderstorms at all, it's better to have them below severe limits. So that part right there is good. And again, basically right here in the Oklahoma City metro, we do have heavy thunderstorms moving on in from Oklahoma County, Cleveland County, all the way down through McLean County. Again, just heavy rain, frequent cloud to ground lightning. That's the biggest risk with this activity. And then also, like we've seen throughout the evening, some localized flooding is also going to be a concern as well. So that's where we are, folks, right now at 10:30. We're going to take a quick break. We'll have another update for you coming up here in about 15 minutes. Keep it here with Oklahoma Weather Tracker TV. We'll keep you up to date with the latest live weather information for Oklahoma.